Well, hey there. If you are a woman over 40 out there and you're starting to get down on yourself or anything to do with your weight loss goals or weight loss efforts so far to date this year, then you want to watch this video because I'm going to make you feel a bit better about the whole process and help you recommit to it. Part of that is by introducing you to, if you haven't seen it, it is the 3rd-year anniversary of when my first book came out, Diet Disruption. And the reason I wrote this book, I've thought so much about this, is to help women break free of diet culture. Oh my gosh, ladies, it is so pervasive. Everything around it can start to taint the way you look at so much in your life. Are you good or bad? On the wagon, off the wagon? Or is this food safe, unsafe? Red light, green light? Are you, it's just crazy making with all of the rules and things like that that come out there. So what I want to share with you today, I'm going to make sure that you get access to getting a free copy because this book, what I have to share with you, can start to set you free from the jail that dieting creates for you. So the typical thing that I'm going to walk you through right now in this video is why weight loss starts to feel so frustrating when you're constantly searching for that next dieting tactic and how that yo-yo swing starts to happen. So first of all, let's just look at a couple of truths here. So hopefully this is coming through well. And I'm going to essentially draw for you, I always want to tell women that there is a way to be normal with food and lose weight. There's 2 states that we often live in that just aren't normal. One, it's dieting, okay? Dieting, severe caloric deprivation, restriction, can't have, don't get, tons of food group omission. And then there's this other side over here, which is can you see that? Yes, complete overeating. Whoops. Oh no, I'm going to draw my bell curve again. Overeating. Okay, so this is where we swing to when you've been on this diet here, right? So you've been dieting, following the rules, and then it gets hard or something stressful in your life happens and you have that moment when you're like, forget it. I don't care. I'm a good person. I deserve to be happy. This is too much right now. And you swing to overeating. Okay, so what this looks like with weight is, let's just say this is where you want to be or something like that. It's close to your goal. When you're in the dieting, right? Or let's just say this is actually, your start point. So you have this place right here and you start to diet. As you diet, you start to lose weight, right? You start to see it go. And then it gets too hard. You stop doing all of the things that got you to weight loss in the first place. And so then you start to overeat again and you swing back up, sometimes gaining more weight than where you started from. Then you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see, or you try to pull on that pair of jeans or your last pair of big pants like what I had, and they're tight. So you get into that panic, desperate mode, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to start dieting again. And you diet again, and you lose the weight, and you're so good. You do whatever it takes for, 14, 30 days or so, and then it gets too hard again. You get tired of the fact that you can't have cookies, or you don't want to live gluten-free or sugar-free, or feel like you can't ever have fun again. So then you go back up and you go back down and you go back up and you go back down. And before you know it, you feel like you're crazy with food. You're feeling like it's so hard. And so there's this part right here of the bell curve, and this is just simply being normal with food. This is understanding what your body needs. This is understanding how to nourish yourself. This is breaking free from the mental anxiety of feeling like you're so restricted, or to that other sort of side of it where you're in anguish because you're overeating and you care, but you don't care, but you care and you don't care in the moment, or you care on Monday, but you stop caring on Thursday night. When you read Diet Disruption, what it's going to help you understand is that there's so much more to weight loss than just simply knowing. There's so much more to just scratching the surface of micro level, do this, don't do that. You want to know why? Because foods become confusing and life gets harder as we get older. All right, our time gets limited, our demands and responsibilities increase. Anybody I work with, I specialize in weight loss with women over 40. And by the time I meet them, all of us have been through something, whether it's divorce or bankruptcy or some sort of financial catastrophe, or you're in the sandwich generation looking after older parents and young kids. You've got long hours at work, and there's sort of this slow slide where you come off your priority list. and you don't know how to take care of yourself anymore. And so when you start to flip through this book, and I think what's helpful about it is this isn't a diet dogma. There's nothing in here about what foods you should eat or what foods you shouldn't eat. This is simply about letting you see yourself through a different light so that you can get it. Yeah, weight loss can feel really tough, especially when you stay stuck or addicted to those dieting tactics. But the biggest thing that a weight loss journey requires is you've got to be willing to get yourself, this is the hard part, back on your own priority list so that you can remember you're worth taking care of. You got to break the fear that gets created around food. I know so many women who are trying to starve themselves all day, and then they're so hungry by the time they get home at night. Then you eat so much at night without meaning to, or you save your points so that you can have those treat foods that you want to have at night. And it's this endless cycle that honestly, if I've got clients in their 70s, you can be on it for decades until you say enough is enough. And so diet disruption exists to help you disrupt the mentality that's gotten you to this point in order to help you go somewhere different, where you can live in a body where you lose weight in a way that, yes, it is a slow, healthy, sustainable way. So no shortcuts. I think at this point, we got to understand that shortcuts don't work for dieting, right? You can lose the weight, but if it doesn't stay off, what's the point? Right? That just creates that psychological, emotional trauma in your head where you start to beat yourself up over and over again for somehow not having enough commitment, willpower, or discipline. Well, it's not about the last two, but it certainly is about commitment. Can you commit to the long run, the long play? About learning how to take care of yourself, learning how to not use food to numb, distract, and escape whatever it is your life is throwing at you. Do you have what it takes to cultivate that emotional resilience and stamina so that you can go the distance, right? That we stop asking food to be our fun, our entertainment, our love, our connection, our distraction, our stress, or the way that we de-stress, relax, get a break, all of those things. Because really, that's not food's job. That's our job. And so, listen, this is what I want you to do. Here, I've got a free copy for you. Okay, all you need to do is go to my name, jenniferpowderweightloss.com/diet disruption. This will pop it into your inbox. And at the very least, you can start to go, okay, what is this? And I can tell you that weight loss in your 20s and your 30s, it's different. There's a lot of people that want to give hormones the bad rap in our 40s and 50s. And then there's sort of the discouragement you can feel when you're in your 60s. But here's what I want you to know. It's never too late. And there's never a stage of life where you cannot be successful at this. But it does mean doing it differently. It does mean that any of those quick tactics or approaches that you've used in the past, the only thing that those things have meant if they haven't been successful for you is don't do them again. It's like banging your head against a brick wall, hoping that it doesn't get bloody. It does. Emotionally and physically, diets leave you worse off. So, you got to recognize weight loss is a journey that you want to go on. You want to go on it because you know the destination that you want to get to feels better for you. The thing that I always like to say, and if you don't know my story, I will share, I've been overweight. I was 40 pounds and a 5'6" body overweight. It was a lot for me. And I had to recognize that as much as I knew about food, I didn't necessarily know how to break free of emotional eating. And in fact, I didn't even consider myself an emotional eater, but I was. So if you're trying to figure out how do you start to take this year, 2023, and learn how to do things differently, grab the book. I want to give it to you. I want you to start to recognize that there is a way out, but it's not going to be using the same tactics that you used before. I'm going to be back on this channel with another video to talk about the number one key thing that happens along a dieting journey, or comparatively a healthy weight loss journey, and show you the two prongs of what happens when you follow one path versus when you follow the other. So stay tuned for that.